Hello, welcome to Club Pilates Control from Rancho Mirage in Palm Springs. My name's Jeanette. We're going to do a 30-minute lower body focused and abdominal focused class. We're going to start standing. Think about your neutral, tighten up your core, take your right foot forward and your left foot back. Feet are about hip joint width apart, so find your balance. You're going to extend your arms, keeping your neutral, hip hinge forward, and then come back up. So we have a slight bend in that right knee, and we're looking for a stretch in the hamstring and glute here. So make sure you're keeping that tailbone up and that lumbar curve natural, getting that hamstring and glute stretch. Let's do 2 more here. Keeping that core nice and strong. Inhaling as we go down, exhaling as we come back up. And then we're going to go ahead and switch legs and get the other hamstring and glute. So really check that back foot, that it is in 12 o'clock. It always wants to turn out, and we can get a great calf stretch on that back leg as long as we keep those toes at 12 o'clock. And if you're having trouble with balance like I am right now, just take your feet a little wider apart, but keep that 12 o'clock. Let's do 2 more here. Abdominals in, nice and strong, keeping that neutral in our spine. And then come back up. So we're gonna take that right foot forward again, but this time we're gonna stay tall. Those toes are at 12 o'clock here. The fingers are about forehead height, and then we're going to stretch the hip flexor. So you're going to rotate in the rib cage toward the forward leg, the right leg, and rotate back. So we're feeling that left hip flexor remaining in neutral. And let's do 4 more of those, keeping your abdominals in nice and strong. Let's do 2 more, feeling that stretch, pushing that back heel down. Now let's go ahead and switch to the other side. And we're in neutral, and we have a vertical spine with this split stance. We're squeezing our bottom just a little bit of the back leg and pressing that thigh down, tightening up our core, and really feeling that front of the hip joint. And we'll throw in an extra one there. Go ahead, hopefully feel a little stretch in the hip flexors, the hamstrings, and the glutes from that. Let's go ahead and alternate single knees up. Now we're just coming about the height of the hip joint. So we just stretch those hip flexors. Now we're kind of warming them up. Just letting our foot fall. And let's go ahead and get 2 more sets here. 1 more, and then shake that out. And let's take our feet body width apart. So the outsides of our feet are body width apart. And we're going to take our tailbone back, pressing into the heels and pushing up. So take your tailbone back, nice neutral spine, and push through the heels, feeling the hamstrings and glutes. So I don't want you leaning forward too much. Think of there being symmetry between the angle of your torso and thighs. And then we're going to turn this into what we call woodchuck. So it's like we're reaching to the right, picking something up and tossing it. Let's do that 4 more times. I don't want you to turn your torso when you do that, though. I want you to feel the emphasis on the glutes here. So you just have your arms going to one side. And let's do 1 more there. Now we're staying really centered on those feet, and we're switching our arms to the left here. We might have a slight rotation in the upper torso, but really keep those hips nice and straight and solid. And let's get 1 more here after this. And then release. We're going to take those feet together now. Find your balance, okay? And we're going to squat in the same manner. So we're still looking for that symmetry between the thighs and the torso. I tend to put my hands together. You can put your hands wherever is comfortable for you. So on this one, sometimes our tailbone doesn't go quite as low. I want you to emphasize it going back and down equally. As you press up, press through your heels, using the lower part of your front thigh muscles and the very center of your rear muscles. And then we're gonna hold down on the next one. So hold those abs in, you have that nice long body, neck is in alignment, and pressing through the heels. And let's pulse here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. We're gonna hold after that. Keep your abs in and hold. See if we can go just a little lower, really pressing into the heels. Toes can even be lifted. Feeling equal weight on both heels for 5, 4, 3, 2, and go ahead and press yourself up. Nice job. Let's go wide now. And you can have your toes at 12 o'clock, but for many bodies, it's a little bit more comfortable to be just a little bit out, like a minute before and after 12. So I'm gonna choose that position for me. So we're still focused on the same muscles. Each of these is a little bit different angles. So keep those abs in nice and strong. You'll notice when I turn on my mat, my legs are so long, I need to be off the mat. So you find that nice, wide, comfortable place for you. And give me 4 more. And then we're gonna hold down and we're gonna do those pulses for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Squeeze your bottom, squeeze your thighs. 2 more, and we're gonna hold. So let's go ahead and hold. Take your bottom back, push into your heels. Keep your core strong without exaggerating and arching your back for 5, 4, 3, 2, and go ahead and press yourself up. So hopefully those glutes and thighs are warming up. Let's do just a little more. I'm going to take our feet back to about body width apart with just a slight turnout. We're going to go down for a squat, and when we come up, we take one leg out to the side. We go down, down, switch legs, and come up. So let's do 6 more sets of those for a total of 7 sets. So keep those abs in nice and strong. Every time you go down into your squat, really push through your heels. Feel those outer thighs, the outer glute working. 1 more set here. And hold down. And give me those pulses again. 8, 7, 6. Keep the knees behind the toes. 4, 3, 2. Hold. Really get into your squat. Go ahead, press your toes down, but keep the weight in the heels. Feel how that changes the lower leg muscles. And then press yourself up. Good. So want to do some knee lifts with squats also, and then we'll take it to the floor for a few minutes. So let's go a little bit closer, about hip width apart. We're going to come into our squat. When we come up, we're going to alternate single knees up. Good. So let's do 6 more sets there. And then you can kind of find your own pace, but don't lose the work, right? Don't get going so fast that you lose the work. So really feel the thighs and the glutes working, keeping the core strong. Let's do 1 more set. 1 more set after this, just to make sure. And we'll hold down, and we'll pulse again for 10, 9. Press into the heels. If your back feels tension, just tuck slightly half an inch, and hold, and press up. Good job. Let's go ahead and take a seat. We're gonna go to earthquake now. A little bit of abdominal work that we normally do in the studio when I'm teaching control. Of course, it's an option for any instructor. So we're gonna sit up tall and we're gonna lean back slightly. So we're in neutral. We're not tucked under, but in neutral. Your sit bones are kind of, where are they? They're behind where your body weight is. And then you're just holding this. Feel this abdominals in. Now, if your hip flexors are starting to get a little tight, because we have been working them, just take your legs a little bit longer, but keep a bend in the knee. And then go ahead, if you want more, extend your arms. They're about parallel to your thighs or in line with your chest. And if you want more work, you can alternate opening up your arms, keeping your core as still as possible and as strong as possible. If you want even more, you can open both. Now I want you to think about lifting your rib cage without arching your back. So stay nice and strong there as we do these 4 more. Remember, the arms are up to you. That's a progression. Let's do 2 more. And then let's go ahead and bring the arms down and come on up. I want you to round your back and get a little stretch. If you want to lie your legs on the floor, you can. You don't have to. You can keep your knees bent. Slide your hands under. So if your knees are bent, you're just going to slide them under your thighs. If they're straight, you're going to slide them wherever they land, ankles, feet, and have something to pull on, bending your elbows. Elongate your neck so your face is parallel to the floor. Now take both hands to the right of your legs. I'm going to put one hand on the floor and take my left hand on the outside of my right leg and pull so I get a stretch on the left of my spine. And then we'll do the opposite. Pulling your abs in, feeling the low back stretch. Perhaps a hamstring stretch, especially if you tighten up your thighs and press them toward the floor. And then release. And let's do earthquake again. So we're going to start with those bent knees. Our toes are not on the floor, but our heels are. We're sitting up nice and tall, and we're leaning back. So we have, again, this symmetry or this diagonal of the thighs and torso like a V. So I gave you some arm progressions on the first set. You can do those again, or you can just hold here, or we can do a leg progression. So we lift and lower. Now the thing about this leg progression is it adds in a lot of hip flexor and quad, which we already work with the squats. So maybe your hip flexors aren't liking that. Don't move the leg if they're not. Keep your rib cage lifted. This is where our body first starts to give in. That rib cage starts to drop toward the hips. So really keep it lifted. And then again, you can add in those arms. And you can hold the arms as you alternate, lift the legs. Totally up to you how you want to progress this or hold. Let's do 1 more set. And release. Let's keep our knees bent. Take our forearms behind our thighs and pull our back. Tucking our chin, tucking our pelvis under, pulling our abs in. And release. We're going to go ahead and get a hip flexor stretch here too. So we did a lot of involvement of the hip flexor with the quads, glutes, and core work that we just did. So we're taking our left foot forward and we're leaning from the right knee. From the top of the head to that back right knee is this long, straight diagonal line. Feeling the stretch in that hip flexor, tighten up that right half of your bottom and tuck under like you're imprinting and feel that stretch even more. And then kind of release that work and press yourself back. Let's go ahead and get a hamstring while we're here. So straighten that forward leg, round your back this time, and take your toes to the floor as much as your body allows. So check your left hip, it probably came forward, kind of pull it back. And so toes down is getting the front of the ankle, straight knee is getting the hamstring and glute. Curved spine with abs in is getting the back. And then come back up to a nice solid position and take the other foot forward. So the right foot is forward now, ankle forward to the knee. Lean into that, letting your knee line up with the ankle now. If you're having balance issues, just hold on to the wall or something that's close to you, something solid. And then tuck your tailbone under for a slight imprint here. Tighten up that left half of your bottom. You can lean on your thigh comfortably to take that stress out of the back so that we have that true diagonal line. And then you're gonna press yourself up, and then you're gonna take your bottom back behind you, round your spine, tuck your chin a little bit. And remember, those toes are going to the floor so that you also have a front ankle stretch. Check that that right hip didn't start to rotate forward. And then go ahead and come up here. I want to stay on our knees. Knees are hip joint width apart. Feet are comfortable. That might be the tops of the feet down on the floor, or it might be plank toes, whichever's best for you. We're going to do some lateral flexion here. Take your arms up in line with your ears. If you have neck or shoulder issues, take them out like an A instead. And then you're going to take your hands and torso to the left. Go as far as you can and hold that. Now keep that right knee on the floor, even though the weight distribution changed and the hips are still even. You haven't jutted the hip out to one side. Now exhale as you come back to center. Let's inhale and go to the right. Really keep that left knee in contact with the floor, even though the weight distribution changes. Pull your abs in. Try not to rotate in the torso. Exhale and come back. So now we're going to get a rhythm here. We'll do 4 sets. Inhaling to the left, exhaling to center, inhaling to the right, exhaling to center. We have 3 more sets. As you're moving through the spine, I want you to remember to really take your shoulders down away from your ears, keeping your back engaged here, keeping your core tight and strong the whole time. No rotation last set. No rotation in the torso nor the shoulders. And then come back to center. Take your arms down, circle those shoulders a couple of times in each direction. Good, and we're gonna go into a plank now. The first one will be just a regular plank, then I'm gonna add some lower body work for our control class. Your choice, forearms or hands, totally up to you. I'm gonna choose hands for my first one. Depending on my wrists today, you might see me go up on my knuckles. That's just an adjustment for having some wrist issues. So if you're on your hands, bend your elbows ever so slightly. And remember, our face is going the same direction as our chest. So don't tuck your chin nor jut it up. Slide your shoulders down toward your hips. Make sure that you're not arching your back, but you're in neutral. Tighten up your thighs. Tighten up your bottom, press your heels away from you. So you're maybe even getting a little calf stretch here. Feel the weight on the center of the balls of the feet here. So heels are probably not touching if we're on the center of the balls of the feet. And let's hold for 5, 4, 3, 2. Let's drop to our knees and go into a cat stretch here. Rounding our back and then straightening our back. Let's just do that one more time. And you can go into an arched spine if your spine is okay with that. I'm going to show this with a straight spine. And then we're going to come into our plank again. I'm going to progress it for our control class with some leg movement. That's an option. You don't have to do it. You can also be on your elbows for this. You don't have to be on your hands. Feet together, please. It'll give you better balance. And come back into your plank. Now you're going to stay strong on your left foot and lift your right foot so your ankle is in line with your hips and you're still in neutral. Now give me 5 leg curls. Using the hamstring, feel the glute, keep it tight. And then hold it and lift the leg with the glute. Now lift the leg toward the ceiling. Don't change your hip position. You have 2 more. And then both feet on, readjust, stretch if you need to, rounding your back, tucking your tailbone under, and then come back. Now lift your left leg again, just the height of your hip, flex your ankle, and give me 5 leg curls. Breathing, strong, sliding your shoulders down. Now hold your shin vertical, your knees are the same height, and lift your thigh 5 times. Feeling your glutes work. 2 more. And then go ahead and come back to plank and drop to your knees. This time, let's go into a child's pose. So let's tuck our chin down, if possible, taking the top of our head to the floor. I like to grab my feet and pull as I tuck my tailbone under. Some people like to have their arms elongated to get more of an upper back lat stretch here. Grabbing your feet gives you more of a low back stretch. So find what's best for you this time. Abs are in. And then let's go ahead and take our hands next to our knees or temples and slowly rise up. So we're going to do one more plank. This time we're going to take a foot and make an arch, tapping the mat on either side of the stationary foot. And there will be some hip rotation here. Again, I'm going to do it on hands. You're welcome to do it on forearms. So our legs are long, our feet are together. We extend the right leg off of the floor and point the ankle. We cross over the leg, tap the mat, and bring it back and tap. Let's do 5 of those. There will be a little bend in the knee, the stationary leg. And then let's hold. Now we're going to abduct it. Keep it pointed, take it out to the side for 5. 3 more. And then bring it back. I'm going to change to my knuckles here. Again, you guys are welcome to be on forearms. You don't have to stay on arms the whole time. Now, lift that left leg, point that toe, cross over like a little arch, tap the floor, and come back. And you have 5 of those. And a little bend in that stationary knee to let that leg cross is okay. And then come back, hold, go out to the side for 5. We have 3 more. Keep your abs in. I feel my hips dropping, check yours. And then drop down to your knees. And let's go into child's pose. So when I'm laughing, usually you know that means I found that a little bit challenging. And I hope you did too. And then let's go ahead and roll over and do some focused abdominals here. So we're going to find our neutral and have our arms at our sides. Going to bring one leg up for tabletop and then the other. We're going to take our ankles the height of our knees in line with our hips, or just larger than a 90-degree at the hip joint, because we want to feel below the belly button. So send your mental energy there. Really find that. Be in neutral. And let's just hold this to start. Big breaths here. Now, we're going to do some slow abdominal crunches. Remaining in neutral. By the way, you can rest your feet on the floor at any time. There's still going to be great work with the crunches. And then we're going to take a large breath. Inhale. Exhale, come up nice and slow. Inhale and lower. So we got 5 of these. Exhale, come up, tighten it all up. Inhale and lower. Keep going while I talk. If your neck is feeling strained, just take one hand behind your head and give it a little support. Just change hands every couple of abdominals. Keep your knees together, working your inner thighs, bringing those shoulder blades up. Last one here. And then go ahead and drop the head. One leg at a time. Let's take it down. Let's go ahead and extend those legs all the way. And the arms overhead, arch your back, take a nice big inhale. And exhale. One more time, big inhale. And exhale. And then let's do the 100 today. So we really kick those abdominals. So you can keep your legs in tabletop. You can keep them extended. You can go in between. I think I'm going to go in between today. So I'm going to move them on the 10 count because I like that little bit longer hold than on the in and outs. So let's start with tabletop. Find your neutral. You can stay in neutral as long as possible while you're in the 100, or you can go to imprint the whole time. Inhale to prepare. Exhale and come up. In 2, 3, 4, 5. Out 2, 3, 4, 10. In 2, 3, 4, 5. Out 2, 3, 4, 20. In 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 30. Don't forget to really tighten up your arms and your shoulders. 40. In 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 50. In 2, 3, 4, 5. Out 2, 3, 4, 60. If your neck's getting tight, remind your abdominals to do more work. 70. In 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 80. In 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 90. In 2, 3, 4, 5. Out 2, 3, 4, 100. Let's go ahead and take a rest. Let's rotate our head to the left, hold it there momentarily. Come back to center, rotate it to the right. So we're just getting a little neck stretch here. Then come back to center. Now let's move through that without the holds twice. So just continual motion, loosening up the neck. Good. And we're going to use our roll up to come up. So extend your legs long. Bring your legs together, take your fingertips to the ceiling. Try to really pull from the abdominals, but I want you to keep a focused fitness tension throughout your body. Inhale here. Exhale as you tuck your chin, articulate up, keeping your legs on the floor. Go as far as you can and get a hamstring stretch. Land your hands wherever your body allows. Now wiggle yourself so your sit bones are behind you and start to pull your chest closer to your thighs. Only tuck your chin enough that your face is parallel to your floor and you're not looking at your belly. And then release. And we're going to finish with some more squats with some abductions. So at the beginning, we did those squats with those outer leg lifts for singles, and we're going to start with that and then we'll go into 5. So find a nice solid stance for your squats about body width or hip joint width apart. We'll start these kind of slow and then we'll get into a rhythm. So you're going to inhale as you come into your squat, you're going to exhale up, and then let's go ahead on the next one and add those alternating abduction. So you take the right leg out to the side, and then you take the left leg out to the side. And it's a partial lift. And I do want you to flex the ankle as you do that. Keep your abs in. Keep your core nice and strong. And you are in neutral unless that's bothering your low back. Let's do 2 more sets of these. And then we're going to do the 5. So there'll be some balance here. If you need to hold on to something, feel free. So come up and go 5, 4, 3, 2, come back to your squat. Come up 5, 4, 3, 2, come back to your squat. One more set each side. 5, 4, 3, 2, come back down. Come up. Now this time I'm able to balance a little bit better without putting weight on the floor. Find what yours is best and come back down and hold your squat. Keep your abs in, press your tailbone long behind you. Looking kind of at the floor, probably about 5 feet in front of you, keeping your neck in alignment. Feel those quads, feel those glutes. Press through your heels, breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, and take a rest. Shake those legs out. I'm going to do a traditional quadricep stretch since we're standing. I'm going to hold on to the bar. Well, you might want to hold on to the wall. Grab your foot, preferably your foot, not your toes, perhaps your ankle, and then bring your knee in alignment with your hip joint. If your knee has to go forward, it's okay. I'd rather have your knee in alignment. And then keeping your neutral with your strong core, start to bring your knee back so that it's lined up with the other leg. And then tuck your tailbone under ever so slightly, and you should feel the front of that thigh. And then let's go ahead and release, and we'll do the other side. So again, you're going to grab either the ankle or the foot, and then instead of having the leg go out to the side, you're going to line it up with the hip joint. And it's okay if the knee goes forward. That just means your quads are tight, and that's why we're doing this. Get a little more flexibility in there. So your abdominals are in, and you start to pull, staying in line with your hip, just to where you feel a little discomfort in your stretch, certainly no pain. You can hold on to the wall if you need to, pull your abs in, tighten up your right half of your bottom slightly, and tuck your tailbone under. And then release that. We're gonna finish this class up with a standing roll down for a back stretch. Legs together, more hamstring. Legs apart, more back. You choose what's best for you. I'm gonna let my arms hang. Inhale here. Exhale as we articulate down, pulling those abs in, staying strong. We decide if we want to bend our knees or not. Fingertips touch the floor. Now your back is rounded. And then I want you to keep your head and shoulders here. Bend your knees and bring your bottom down. And then straighten your legs. So you're going to inhale as you bend your knees and bring your bottom down, and exhale as you straighten your legs. Do that 3 more times. Hopefully with each of these, you're getting a little bit more flexibility in those hamstrings or in the back. If you chose a wide stance, let's hold here, pull those abs in. Inhale, exhale, and articulate up one vertebra at a time. You decide if you're bending your knees or not. And release. And we're done. Thanks for joining us this morning.